Do you love adventure? Are you a dog person? Join Mounir and his loyal dog Zoe in their Angolan adventure. Angola is a beautiful country in Southwest Africa. Zoom. The plane landed with a gentle thump. Mounir squeezed Zoe's strong neck. We're here, girl. Angola. Outside the car window, the city of Luanda sparkled. The wide blue bay, called the Marginal, stretched out, busy with boats and happy people. The next day, they drove south until they found the mighty Kwanza River. It looked like a ribbon of brown silk winding through the green trees. Suddenly, Zoe let out a soft whine and pointed her nose skyward. High above, a majestic African fish eagle circled, its white head like a tiny cloud. Deep inside Kisama National Park, Mounir kept his eyes peeled for a very special creature. Look, Zoe, there, a beautiful animal with long, curved horns stood gracefully in the tall grass. It was the giant sable antelope, found nowhere else in the world. It was even bigger than Zoe. They traveled to the coast near Benguela. When they reached a beach called Baía Azul, Mounir gasped. The water was the most astonishing color. It really is blue bay, Zoe. It looks like a giant sapphire. Zoe sniffed the damp sand, happy to be close to the salty sea again. Up the road went, until they reached the edge of a massive drop-off, the Tunda Vala Gap. The view of the valleys below was dizzying. As Mounir tied a scarf around his neck against the cool air, a tiny, furry creature the size of a rabbit scurried past. It was a rock hyrax, or a dassie, sunbathing on a warm rock. The roar of the mighty Kalandula Falls filled the air. Water crashed down from the high cliffs, sending up a rainbow mist. As Mounir and Zoe watched the spectacular sight, Zoe suddenly stopped. She'd spotted something long and patterned draped over a sun-warmed boulder nearby, a huge African rock python, sleeping peacefully. Next, they visited the red sand of the Namib Desert. It was quiet and empty, but not totally empty. Mounir found a plant that looked like it belonged to another planet. It had only 2 long, tattered leaves and could live for thousands of years. It was the amazing Welwitschia mirabilis. Back by the ocean, the air was cool and salty. Mounir threw a stick for Zoe to fetch. Instead of the stick, Zoe came back with a friend. Waddle, waddle, a tiny African penguin had popped out from behind a rock. It looked very smart in its black and white tuxedo, quite confused by the big dog. They visited a very old stone building called the Fortress of São Miguel, which sat proudly on a hill. It had cannons and thick walls. As Mounir looked out at the view, he heard a funny chattering noise. A cheeky vervet monkey was sitting on the battlements, sticking its tongue out at them. From the bustling markets to the quiet desert, Mounir and Zoe had seen all the amazing colors of Angola. As they drove towards the airport, Mounir hugged his faithful dog. Thank you for being the best travel buddy, Zoe. What an adventure we had.